Most roofers think they lose jobs because of price, but the data tells a completely different story. The research shows that between 30 and 40% of inbound calls to home service companies go unanswered. That goes for HVAC, plumbing, roofing, and other home services across the board. But let's focus on roofing for a second. If your phone rings 100 times this month, there's a strong chance that 30 to 40 of those calls never turned into an actual conversation. And here's the wild part. Most roofing companies have no idea this is even happening. Now let's talk about the calls you do answer, or the ones you call back. I've done the research on lead response time, and it shows something critical. Companies that respond within 5 minutes are significantly more likely to convert than those who wait 30 minutes, an hour, or longer. And that truly is just 5 minutes. Not same day, not we will get back to you this afternoon. 5 minutes. And I've seen this happen in my roofing experience all the time. And this makes sense when you understand human behavior, especially in roofing, because when someone calls you, they are usually dealing with something urgent, if they are, not all times. Usually if it's a leak or an insurance deadline or another type of deadline with construction, they're not casually shopping around. They're in decision mode, and they're not just calling you. Usually they're calling 3, 4, sometimes 5 roofers. Yes, I've seen it all the time. And whoever answers first or calls back first has a massive advantage. Not because they're cheaper, not necessarily because they're better, but because they were available. See, speed signals professionalism and reliability. A slow response signals that you're disorganized or too busy. Even if that's not true, that's the message homeowners receive. Think about your own behavior as a consumer. When you need something fixed and you call a company, how long are you willing to wait before you move on to the next option? Most people don't wait long. They want their problem solved now, or at least scheduled, especially if their roof is leaking and causing stains or getting the floor wet. Now, there's another side to the story, and that is the impact on the business. Let me put this into perspective. Say your company gets 80 to 100 inbound calls this month. If 20 to 30% of those are missed, delayed, or never followed up on properly, that's 15 to 25 opportunities that just vanished. Even if only half of those would have turned into actual estimates, that's somewhere between 7 and 12 potential jobs. In roofing, depending on your average job size, that could easily represent $30,000 to $60,000 in revenue. Over the course of a season, you could be looking at over 6 figures. And here's the thing, there's no report that pops up and says, here's the money you would have made if you answered faster. It just disappears. You don't see it, you don't feel it, you just assume you need more leads. And that's where most roofing contractors get it backwards. They think the solution is more Google ads, better SEO, higher marketing spend. But if you're already leaking 20 to 30% of your inbound calls, adding more calls just makes the leak bigger. It's like pouring water into a bucket with holes in it. The issue isn't that you need more traffic. The issue is that you don't have a reliable system for capturing and responding to the traffic you already have. Here's another thing most roofers don't think about: after-hour calls. A significant portion of roofing inquiries come in after 5 p.m. Homeowners get home from work, they notice the leak, and they start making calls. Now, what happens when they call you at 6:30 p.m.? Most likely the calls go to voicemail. Maybe someone on your team calls them back the next morning, but by then, there's a chance that homeowner may have already talked to 2 other roofers and scheduled an appointment and doesn't want another. That job was lost before you even knew it existed. And this happens all the time. It's happened to me, happened to other business owners I know. So before you spend another dollar on marketing, I would encourage you to ask 3 questions. 1, how many calls did you miss last month? 2, what's your average callback time for the calls you do get? And 3, what happens when someone calls you after hours or on the weekend? Because here's the reality. Most roofing jobs aren't lost at the kitchen table during the estimate. They are lost at the first missed call. And the biggest issue, most contractors never realize it's happening. If you want to grow your roofing business, the fastest way to do it isn't always spending more on ads. Sometimes it's just making sure you actually answer the phone when it rings. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your experience. Drop a comment and let me know. Do you track your missed calls? What's your average response time? And how has that been working out for you? Thanks for watching. If you know another roofer who may benefit from this, send them this link.